The house always listens. It knows when you're home. When it's empty, it sighs. Floors creak like footsteps. Windows tremble with no wind. And sometimes, when I'm alone, I feel the air grow still, like it's waiting. Last night, the house called my name. It was 3:14 a.m. I was half asleep, listening to the rain, when I heard my own voice calling my name. Faint but clear, it whispered from behind the wall. "Come here." I sat up in bed. The voice slithered through the house's beams, from my headboard to the ceiling to the far wall. My phone lit up by itself. The camera app opened. For a heartbeat, I saw myself standing in the hallway, watching me. Then the image blinked out, a loud thump from above. I climbed to the attic. The air was heavy, metallic, almost wet. On the wall, a fresh handprint, my handprint. Then I heard it again, closer now. It's my turn to be outside. My voice, but not my voice. It was coming from behind the wall. But how? There was only drywall, and the space beyond was dark, too dark to see anything. Yet I could feel the darkness watching me. It pressed against my skin, down my arms, squeezing my fingers. I screamed and stumbled back. When I turned to run, something grabbed my ankle. Something dragged me toward the wall. I kicked out wildly, desperate to touch solid ground, to feel the earth beneath my feet. But all I found was air. The house breathed against me, hot and cold, fast and slow, a nauseating rhythm that stole my breath and replaced it with something else, something wrong. I forced myself to turn around, to face whatever was in front of me. I don't know why I did it. Maybe because the house wanted me to see. Or maybe I wanted to see. In the flickering beam of my phone, I saw myself, or what was left of myself. My face was white and stretched unnaturally thin. My eyes were black pits, bottomless. My mouth was a gash, a silent scream frozen in midair. My limbs were twisted at impossible angles, my fingers like claws. It took a step forward, then another, and I backed away until my shoulder hit the wall. I was trapped. Its smile widened, baring teeth that were too sharp, too long. They dripped something onto my skin. I screamed and clawed at its face, but my nails just slid off its cheek like it wasn't there. The taste of copper filled my mouth. I could feel my blood mingling with something else on my skin, something cold and clammy. It reached out and I flinched, bracing for pain, for teeth, but its hand closed around my wrist. I tried to pull away, but its grip was like iron. Its fingers were my size, yet they moved with a grace that was all their own. As it pulled me closer, I saw the attic stairs in the reflection of its eyes. Its thumb brushed my cheek, sending a shiver down my spine. In its palm, my fingers uncurled. It leaned closer, inhaling my scent. I wanted to scream, to beg it to stop, but I couldn't make a sound. Its breath washed over me, cold and rank, and I felt something wet trickle down my neck. It opened its mouth, revealing rows upon rows of needle-like teeth. They glistened under the dim light, and I saw my own reflection staring back at me from its glistening surface. Its eyes gleamed with an eerie light. It dipped its head, nuzzling my neck. I cried out, scrambling to get away. It tasted like rust and decay, yet it smelled like home. Then, as suddenly as it began, it stopped. The pressure on my wrist eased, and it stepped back. It tilted its head, as if listening to something beyond my hearing. A floorboard creaked somewhere in the house. It whipped around, vanishing into the darkness. The attic door slammed shut. The silence that followed was deafening. I collapsed against the wall, my heart pounding in my chest. I was trembling, my skin prickling with goosebumps. I don't know how long I stayed there, huddled in the corner, but eventually the pounding of my heart slowed and the house creaked again. This time it was closer, in the room above me. Footsteps, heavy, Deliberate, they climbed the attic stairs. Then the doorknob turned, and the door swung open. I scrambled back, pressing myself against the far wall. In the doorway stood the thing that had been inside the house all along, the thing that now wore my face. It smiled, baring its sharp teeth. "Let's go downstairs," it said, its voice a raspy whisper. "There's so much more I want to show you."